fa. Namo Amitabha, Namo Amitabha, Namo Amitabha. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Buddhaya, Buddha, Namo Buddhaya. How to be with your peace, how to be with tranquility, how to be with silence. A lot of us who are seeking peace, we're seeking a little calm in your life, in our life. We forget, we don't realize that a lot of times we can't find calmness, we cannot find happiness, we cannot find tranquility in our lives is because when calmness, tranquility start to open the door into our hearts, into our mind, we quickly push it away. There's times in our life when it is very quiet. Nobody's calling your phone. Nobody's sending you messages. Nobody's knocking on your door. Even the neighbors outside are quiet. There's nobody walking in the hallway. It's just you with yourself. Have you noticed how noisy it is? It's you by yourself. Nobody to blame. Nobody there to cause a problem. Nobody there to call your name. For some of us, we start to sabotage. For some of us, we push away the silence. All that silence, we say, I wish I had a quiet place. I wish I was somewhere that was quiet. I wish I was in a place that was not so noisy. Now it's here. Now the quiet is here. What do? We start to look for things to make it noisy again. We want to make the noise. Why? We start to panic. We think something is wrong because there's silence. We resist the silence. We keep calling in silence and calmness, but when it comes, we say, no, we don't want it. Isn't that what we need to calm down? We need some form of silence. It's not a punishment. You're not in trouble because there's silence. When there's silence, be with the silence. Stay with the silence. Sit with the silence. Accept the silence. Accept the calmness. Accept the tranquility. Accept the sati. And let it go all the way through your body, through your mind, through your heart. You will let the silence go into your heart, go into your mind, and sit there and breathe with it. It is the universe. It is your karma. It is your destiny trying to let you know when other things are coming. You are going to need a healthy bank of silence to deal with that situation. Don't push it away. Don't look for something, death scrolling on TikTok. Don't look for something to destroy that peace. You're not forgotten. It is your time to remember yourself. You are not forgotten. It is your time to take that peace, take the quietness, and quiet your mind. We become so accustomed, we become so used to, we become so familiar with chaos, familiar with noise, familiar with all of the on-out that you forget, that you think that in order for you to be at peace, there has to be noise. I'm going to tell you right now, most of the peace and quiet tranquility that you're looking for is mostly going to come very quietly. But you have to quiet the noise in your mind to hear it. You have to quiet your heart and your mind down to actually see it, to hear it, to understand it. It is not going to come in a big parade. It is not going to come in a loudspeaker. It is not going to come in the ringing of the bell. It is going to come when you make space in your heart and your mind to hear peace and tranquility, peace and quiet. Peace and quiet here and here first. Sometimes when life becomes still, we start to panic. Do you know why we panic? Do you know why we lose composure? Do we know why we lose ourselves in silence? Because then we start to think about ourselves and how far we are away from that peace. What have we done to our own lives? What have we done that made us so far out of sync with peace, so far out of connection with peace, so far the opposite of peace and quiet? Your heart starts to beat really fast. We take that place of peace and we want to turn it into a market. So, I don't want to take too much time, but going back to the Dhamma. There is in a sutta of the Uddana Sutta. The sutta says, just as in the great ocean there is but one taste, the taste of salt, so too in this teaching and this discipline there is but one taste, the taste of liberation. Freedom, liberation from unwholesomeness, unskillfulness, the kilesa, freedom from attachment has one taste. And I promise you that taste is coming from a place of peace and tranquility and silence. Freedom from running away from your peace. Accept the peace. It's yours right now, so live in it. Tomorrow we don't know. We're not knowing sure if we're going to live tomorrow. We don't know what kind of situation is going to be tomorrow. So live in that peace at the moment and don't push it away. Accept it and be happy in the present moment and use that as a lesson. Use that as a lesson. You won't. There's another verse from the Dhammapada of the Lord Buddha. When the mind is still, when the mind is calm. When the mind is calm, the truth gets a chance to be heard in silence. So, when the mind is calm, the truth gets a chance to be heard in silence. What truth? The truth of how things naturally are. No hiding. You see the truth for what it is in silence. Not silence only outside, but silence in the mind, silence in the heart. Don't be afraid of silence. Don't be afraid of peace. That is where you're going to find your place in sanctuary. That is where you're going to find your own place of safety. When the world is calm, be the calm in the world. When there is calm outside, go inside and be calm also. When the world is calm outside, stop doing everything and be calm. Be calm here. Even if you cannot physically stop doing work, do your work with mindfulness. Do your job with calmness. Turn it into your meditation. Turn it into your form of peace. Don't forget your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Turn off the music. Turn off the distractions of your mind. Focus on your breath and continue doing your schoolwork, continue doing your work at home, or work in the office, or work wherever you have to be at. Breathe and remember yourself. Be calm. And for some of you that are not so familiar with Buddhist suttas, maybe some of us are not even Buddhist, but we do like the teachings about meditation. We like the teachings about mindfulness and how to gain clarity. There's other things, there's other scriptures that maybe you are familiar with. Me, I have a Abrahamic faith background. I wasn't always Buddhist, but there still is teachings that tell us to be calm. You'd have, for example, in the Bible, you'd have Psalms 46:10. It tells you, be still and know that I am your Lord, I am God. Be still and know that I am God. So it is telling you to be still within yourself and know that there is something higher than the small things that were going on, small things that we're dealing with in our lives. Be still. It tells you clearly. There's another verse inside the Bible in Ecclesiastes 3:17. It says, there is a time for everything. There is a season for every activity under the heavens, underneath the dome of this world. A time to be silent and a time to speak. So if you sit there and look at Ecclesiastes here in the Bible, it is telling you to use wisdom and recognize and to see the truth of the nature around you, that there's a time and place for everything. And if you can see that everything is quiet, follow suit. If everything around you on the outside is quiet, take that time to also be quiet inside. If everything is quiet outside, don't make it noisy by taking what you remember from chaos and noise and put it inside your heart. Use that time to quiet yourself. Use that time to develop wisdom by being aware. By being aware that when things slow down, you also can slow down. And for some of us also who are familiar with other scriptures from Abrahamic faith, you would have something in Surah Al-Ra'd. It says, it says, from a Quranic perspective, Inna bi dhikrillah tatma'innu al-qulub. For those of you who are in remembrance of the Lord or remembrance of Allah, it is something that calms the heart. Do you understand? For some of us who are following different scripture, it says Inna bi dhikrillah tatma'innu al-qulub. So verily the remembrance of Allah is what calms the heart. So if that is what it is, that's what it's going to take for you to calm down, to make you a more tranquil, a more peace-accepting person. Then take that time to remember your your center of divine being. If that's what it takes, remember that. Remember, peace and harmony, tranquility, it doesn't force itself upon you. It does not force itself upon you. Peace, happiness, tranquility, calmness, it doesn't jump on you and tell you have to accept me. You have to know me. You have to accept me into your heart. It doesn't do that. It's waiting for you. It is waiting for you to openly accept tranquility. Open a space in your heart and mind to accept tranquility. You're welcome. Think about chaos. Think about noise. Think about all of the loud things in your path to peace. On your pathway to peace, distractions, noise, chaos on out, it jumps at you like a tiger. It doesn't ask your permission. It is not waiting for you to think if you like it or not. It just jumps on top of you and says, here I am, accept me. Peace, tranquility doesn't do that. Why is TikTok got this making my face fat and small. I don't know why it does that. I wish I could stop that, but anyway. Accepting peace, being the peace that you want to see in the world, starts from you recognizing what peace looks like, what peace feels like, what peace thinks like, and remembering the signs of peace in your world, the world that you live. What does peace look like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? What does it feel like? Be honest. Be honest with yourself. Peace is not a thing that makes people sad. Peace is not something that makes people suffer. Peace is not something that makes people want to fight another person. Peace is something that does not make beings sad, angry, suffer. Peace is not something where one person is happy and the others are angry. That's not peace. That's not tranquility. Peace is something that threatens chaos. Peace is something that makes chaos uneasy. Tranquility is something that makes chaos uncomfortable being there. You haven't noticed? When you're calm, it makes uncalm people want to leave. When you find your happiness, the people that are unhappy, situations that are unhappy, they want to leave. They want to make a lot of this is what we're realizing. In your state of calm, clear mind, what is going to happen is going to push out everything in your life that doesn't like to be calm. It makes the more you accept in happiness, calmness in your life, the more unhappiness is going to find a way to leave. And you'll find out the people in your life who are there to make you uneasy, to make you uncomfortable, to make you angry, to make you a place where you are always in a state of unhappiness. They're going to get up and leave, and they're going to make a problem for you. You'll find out that they were using your life to make you uneasy. They didn't want to see you happy because they are unhappy. They didn't want to see you at peace because they believe that if they can't be happy and at peace, you also can't be happy and peace. You can find it clearly. Peace, chaos. They are the opposites of each other. Peace, chaos. Without each one, you cannot recognize the other. Peace and chaos. It lets you see which one is going to be more effective for your development of mind and heart, your development of the Dharma, your development of your own life. Where do you do better in your life? Please tell me. And you have to make the distinction. I like peace. I don't like to argue. I don't like to fight with people. I don't like to force people. I want to be a place where I reflect the love and happiness in my heart for others. It is a choice. It is a choice that you're going to have to submit to. It is a choice that you're going to have to accept. I am a place of peace. I am a place of tranquility. So therefore, I must know the signs of peace, the taste of peace, what it feels like to be in peace, and also how to accept peace and give it up and give it to everyone else also. At least, you had this time to change your mind, to change your idea, and be the peace and solution. Be the solution to today's problems. You took the time to do what you could. Don't think because you sat in quietness, you thought in quietness, you reacted in quietness, that you did nothing. You did something very big. You've helped change your karma. You accepted the call of peace. You sat with it, you recognized it, and you can use that as fuel. So when you are in an environment where there is nothing but loud chaos, you remember your peace and use that as a refuge to help you get through the hard times in your life. You remember the peace and what it feels like, how calm it was, how peaceful it was. So next time there's peace in your life, next time there's calmness that comes in your life, next time you start to realize that things are calm, automatically be with the calm. Breathe and be with the calm, even if it's for 5 minutes. Just sit with it for a moment. You have to let that calm, tranquil, warm peace wrap you like a blanket and be in love with that peace. Be in love with that moment. And when you feel the love and warmth, breathe it out and give it to everyone that you can possibly give it to. It doesn't mean you need to throw money and, hi, I love you everybody, hello, hi, ciao, no, with your heart and your mind, give out love. Don't wait for somebody to be like, why are you so happy? Or thank you for giving me love. You don't need to say anything, you just give it out freely. It's called radiating love. Metta. You give metta to be for all beings. That guy who was really mean to you, don't worry about it. I took my peace, and I hope that you recognize that I'm at peace, that you would see that you can also be in peace. That guy, that lady who was screaming at me today, come sound out. I don't want to continue fighting with you. I have nothing but love for you. I'm sorry that we had a conflict. Man, Bob, Dad, Mom, they're angry because they didn't clean your room, you didn't do your homework. Come sound out. I understand. And I have nothing but love in my heart for you. You're trying to do your best. Sometimes it can be difficult. Maybe you had a problem at your job and you think that the best way to handle that is to come shout at me. Or you think that, whatever, I didn't wash the dishes. My teacher's angry at me. Love and kindness for all beings, and take your peace and give it to others. If there's something that I said that goes against the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, the Bodhisattva path, let it be known that the problem is not the Dharma. The problem is within me. Okay, so the problem is me. I'm not a PhD scholar nor meditation master. I'm just a monk that tells you from my experience. With that being said, Namo Bhagavate Namo Azida Fak Azida Fak.